Hello and welcome again to the Globe Arena Bar for the latest edition of the Fans Panel. I'm joined tonight by Sean O'Connor, the programme editor for Morecambe and long-time supporter. Sean here. We have Dan and Lee, Mr Potato Head. Potato! If we have a look back at the last two games, do it in chronological order. Sean, Torquay, we always knew it was going to be a difficult game. They've had some good results recently at home and a couple of good players down there. How do you think we went with that one? I mean, we went a goal behind again and came back from that. Were you impressed with Torquay and how we came back?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were quite strong. A couple of players sort of, took a fancy. Ewan O'Kane was.
He got the man of the match, didn't he?
He did, yeah. You gave him the man of the match. And, it was a very strong player, but they were a disciplined side, and we've always had tough games down there. But I was pleased the way they came back in the second half. There was that sort of mental resilience we've seen all season, where the fitness kicks in, and Kevin Ellison just can't do anything wrong at the moment. I mean, he doesn't score a bad goal, does he? 7 goals, and every one of them quality. That one obviously was the best goal. I can't think of a better goal I've seen on the road, to be honest. I was thinking about this week, and I'm just really struggling to think of a better one. We've seen some fantastic volleys from Stuart, Lee, Elam at Kettering, I remember that one, and I just can't think of a better goal. So, and he did it again, on Tuesday night. So Kevin Ellison at the moment, it's not a one-man show, I know, because the lads, everybody who's done played their part this season, even if in the Carling Cup, Millwall and Barnsley as well. So it's just everything seems to be just going so well this season. You just have to pinch yourself. And at Torquay, great effort by the fans. 70 odd went down there. It's a long way. I drove down. I know a lot of people stayed over, including yourselves, and had some really good hospitality. And they're a really friendly club down there. It was a good game. I think both managers would be happy with the point. I think Morecambe certainly battled in the second half. And had chances. Kevin Ellison missed a chance. Isaac Reed, thankfully, was offside, because he really would have been embarrassed had he missed that chance in the second half. So, I mean, that's been the pattern of play. He's played that sort of 3-4-1-2 away from home, and it's worked for him. 1 in the hole with the 2 up front. And it seems tactically working for him. I know Jim was saying that he will switch it round, he will switch the style of the side, whether you go tall, or you go on the floor, or he goes direct. So he's got all those options, and it just all seems to be going well for him.
Yeah, it was good. It was we did have a good weekend down there. Lee, you couldn't make it there, but you saw the goal on the BBC highlights and on TV and on Shrimps Play. You listened to the commentary, I believe. What was your impression of the comeback there?
I thought Kevin Ellison got the ball and he thought, I'm on my way. And then when he set off, he just looked like he was skiing in the snow all the way down till he scored. Yeah. Fantastic.
It was one of them where you were going, go on, yeah! It was a fantastic goal. And I mean, from your point of view, Lee, is he one of the ones who Jim's brought in who's impressed you the most, or have you been impressed by all his signings?
I'll be perfectly honest, when he first signed him, I thought his best days were behind him, and I'd taken a friend down who doesn't go to the Globe very often. Ellison got the ball when he scored his wonder goal here. He got the ball and my friend said to me, who's that? And I said, oh, he's part of Jim's new youth policy. And he banged it in from 30 odd yards. And I said, I was joking again. It was fantastic. He scores fantastic goals, and I think he really, wants to make a good impression. I think he wants to run through the walls for manager, and I think he'll end up getting 15 goals this season.
Yeah, which is a good contribution when you've also got people like Danny Carlton scoring goals and Jevons chipping in with a few as well.
Well, I think Alessandra, from what a lot of people say, is probably arguably going to be one of our best players this season. So we were going to be struggling for options up front, and now it's looking fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. And moving on then to the Preston game on Tuesday night. Dan, I know you were stewarding at that match. Anybody who's been down to the Globe Arena for the last 3 or 4 games has seen some fantastic football, and that must, it must all go well for doing what Peter McGuigan, the chairman, wants to do and building the crowds up. And I think you've been talking to some Preston fans and some Morecambe fans who don't come that often, who've been to the last couple of games.
Yeah, on the way home after the game on Tuesday, a couple of Preston fans I know, avid Preston fans, said they've never seen a team play such good game of football. Not only that, when Preston are away, obviously can't go to the games far away, so they'd be back to the Globe to see us play. So it's not just Preston fans as well, local fans, talking to an elderly gentleman with his grandson, I presume it was. First time they've been down, enjoyed the game thoroughly, said they'd be back. So playing football which can drag people like that in, which have never been before, and make them want to come back, bodes well for the future.
I think that's it, isn't it, Sean? Because I mean, we've had a lot of times in recent seasons where we've built the crowd up. You know, we've had a big game down at Christie Park and at the Globe last season, and we've built it up in the press and locally and on Students' Voice. It told everybody bring people down, and then it's sort of fallen flat, and we've not seen them back again. I mean, you know, we've had a couple of decent crowds at the Bradford game and the Preston game on Tuesday night, and you know, it's been fantastic football, and that must surely build the crowds up.
It should. Results certainly should. I mean, who would have thought we'd have been top of League Two in Jim's first season? A lot of us would have been a little bit sceptical at the start of the season. Signings that it's brought on, Lee's mentioned Kevin Ellison, Guy McDonald, you know, they've all come in. Alessandra, Jevons has renewed, you know, Danny Carlton, 7 goals already, you know, leading the goal scoring in League Two. So many positives on the pitch, lots off the pitch, you know, news this week as well. And it's like, what else can you do? We've all lived in the town most of our lives, and we've seen, you know, many of you before me would have seen the full bad days of the 70s and 80s, you know, the glory days of the 50s and 60s, and that lull, and now it's sort of picked up, promotion to the conference, then we get into the league, and it's like, what else can the club do? I mean, they're playing the best football you'll ever see from a Morecambe team at the moment, and I know it's very hard, it's a recession, it's not an area that has a great deal of money, but they're doing everything they can to make it as exciting. I thought on Tuesday night, it was the first time I honestly thought, this is great, it's a great atmosphere, brilliant, nicely little compact ground. I miss Christie Park, don't get me wrong, but I just thought on Tuesday the Preston fans really added to the atmosphere, and considering we've had Coventry, we've had Burnley, which was a bigger crowd, I just thought it was such a cracking atmosphere on Tuesday, it really was.
It was a good atmosphere. And Lee, I suppose you must have been impressed by the way they fought back. I'll be absolutely honest, when Preston went 2-0 up, they looked to have a strong side, they looked to be playing well, and I thought, we've got a tough game coming up on Saturday. It's a big ask us to come back from that, but we did.
Well, you've got to remember, it's the real Wimbledon. They are the team that won the FA Cup. They've got a lot of support, really, relatively now, and you know, they're not MK Dons franchise. They're a team that want to prove something.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they'll come here with a lot of good feeling from our fans, because you know, they're the real deal. They're not something made up. I'm looking forward to them coming.
Yeah, and back to Tuesday night, impressed by the way we came back from that 2-0 down?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I thought Ellison should have come on sooner, but I think he was probably being safe for Saturday, to be honest. But you just feel like something's going to happen when he's on. And, you know, I was surprised he wasn't on sooner, but, you know, we got one back, and then they were looking over their shoulder, weren't they?
Yeah.
And suddenly when we scored the equaliser, it was like an earthquake behind the goals.
Yeah, brilliant. And had a couple of chances to win it on penalties. I have to feel sorry for the lads who missed the penalties. Were you surprised with the order of the penalty takers at all, Dan?
Yes, I think we discussed this earlier. Maybe a couple of people I thought may have taken penalties sooner. Alessandra, who in the end turned out to be, unfortunately, the one that missed it. I thought he may have been one of the 5 that took it. Surprised Vulture was in there. Was it 4 or
probably the best penalty of the night.
Oh yeah, as I said, I was looking to the halfway line, see he was walking down, looked back, and there's Vulture, put the ball in the back of the net. A bit surprised, but I said the lads play well, so all those unfortunate things.
And looking forward to Saturday. I mean, Lee's mentioned this is the proper Wimbledon that's coming up here. We're really glad to see them back in the league, and that's what they are, back in the league. You know, it's not the first time that they've been there, it's the proper Wimbledon coming back. I watched them a couple of times last season in the playoffs, and we know how strong Fleetwood are, you know, because we've lost a couple of players that we've been after, and Fleetwood have ended up getting them. We know how strong they are, and I thought they made them look a poor side. So they're coming here, they're on a decent run at the moment. Another tough game against Sean.
Yeah, I think it will be a tough game, and you're quite right. I saw them in the conference corresponding fixture, Glenn. It was back in February. I just had a free night, thought go on and see how Fleetwood played. And you're right, a very tall physical presence about them, and they certainly have
Very
that in the
fit
players.
side, they look,
Very
don't
fit
they?
side, very organised. But Terry Brown's always had some great sides. We've come across Hayes in the past and Aldershot. You know, I've seen our teams go down to Terry Brown's. I always remember Jim Harvey saying he had the most respect of any conference manager for Terry Brown for the budget that he had. And it's similar, I think, still. You know, they've had to work their way back up. And, you know, it's no real surprise at the back end. It's good for them. And I think it'll be a tough game. Jim's saying they've had them watched quite a number of times. So
we
it's
do
just
our
they do
research, yeah.
for every game, you know. So, yeah, it'll be hard.
Okay, and expecting quite a few up. We hope we retain some of the fans who've been to the last couple of games, decent crowds. Let's have a prediction from you. Lee, what do you think it's going to be on Saturday? How do you think we'll approach the game, and what do you think the score will be?
I think we'll be very positive. I think we'll win it. I wouldn't expect miracles with the crowd, though, to be honest. It's a long way for them to come, and 2 games in 1 week, which is stretching. You know, I know it was a reasonable price on Tuesday, but it's still stretching people's budgets a bit. And I think if you look back to sort of years ago when we had 300 a week, 1,800 home fans a week, it's fantastic anyway.
And it's slightly above that now. I think the last few games we were working on sort of 2-2, something like that.
So I think
home fans only.
I think about 2-3, 2-3.5. That's what I think.
And what do you think about the score?
Morecambe 2-1.
Go along the line, Dan.
I think we'll attack from the off. Very close game, but 3-1 I reckon. Yeah.
Quite optimistic there. What do you think, Sean?
I'm hoping that Jim will get a clean sheet, so I'm going for 2-0.
I think it'll be a tough game. I think they're a good side. I think it'll be another tough game. We've had a couple of hard games recently. I'll go for another draw. I'll say 1 apiece. That's it for tonight. We're not going to make this a monthly thing now. Mark, who does all the editing and everything, has got a new job, thankfully. Good job, but it does take up a lot of his time, so we think we're going to go monthly now with this, where we'll have a lot more to talk about. So if you want to get your name down for the next fans panel, just let Mark know via Shrimp's Voices, and we'll try and get you on. That's it for tonight, unless we've got any other guests who might be coming. It's Jason Price! I did you, Price?
Not so bad.
Really?
Oh, the snake!
Hey, what a good performance on Tuesday night.
Absolutely
Yeah,
tops, mate,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have taken you off anyway. That's all for now. Jason Price and the rest of the panel. See you next time.